Hey everyone, it's Clay with Dungeons and Javas here. About to do something probably a little out of my league. I'm going to join the Arena Open Historic Tournament, and I don't really hardly ever play Historic, except when it comes up on the Friday Night Magic challenges. So I thought I'd give it a try just to see how I do. It's cold outside. We're here in Colorado Springs. It's about 15 degrees out, so what better thing to do than stay in and play some Magic? Yesterday was the Friday Night Magic online, the Arena Historic, and so I made a deck that was very similar to a deck that I was running in Standard for a while, and that's kind of a white-blue flying Air Force with um, basically the Watcher of the Spheres, some Brazen Borrowers, some Cloudkin Seers. I threw in some Kiras to help protect. I've got the Winged Words for card draw and Gust of Wind for card draw, a little Teferi. A couple of Angels of Grace for late game flash. Those are really good when we've got the Watcher of the Spears that makes it cost cheaper for them to come out. Of course, we got some Shark Typhoons, and I'm running a little light on the lands because I do have the Seagate, the Amiria's Call, and some Jawari Disruptions. So I was playing this in the Friday Night Magic Historic and doing really well. And then when I got serious about maybe joining the tournament here this weekend, I went out and I did some research and was doing actually looking for a mill deck. And I built it. I used a bunch of wild cards and pretty much built it up exactly how it was, except I added a few things. I tweaked a few things, like I put some Thasses in there instead of, I think they had the Mu Ling Planeswalker that just deals with flyers. So it, and I played it several times last night. It just didn't do as well as my white-blue control deck. So I'm just going in rogue and hoping that the white-blue control deck will do its thing. I do have some pretty good counter spells in there, so catching a lot of people off guard with this. So um, with the lofty denials and the Dovin vetoes and the Jawari disruptions. So I did well against goblins. I did well against Uro, even though I don't really have much or any graveyard hate rather. But the you can kind of see Uro coming out of the graveyard, so saving the counter spells really did that. And then really it's just all about getting that Air Force going. So I'm going to see how it works and hopefully do well and make it to day two. So I'm going to go ahead and sign up. I paid my $14 so I could get my my gems here. Some cool Kaldheim sleeves now. All right, so um, okay, I was under the impression that this was going to be you had an option of going with a single game or best 2 out of 3, but apparently day two, it's going to be the best of 3 matches using sideboards. So here we go. And get this Wu-Tang Clan going, and we'll submit this deck. And here we go. You'll undoubtedly catch me making some mistakes. I sometimes get too rushed and just let it auto select my mana, and then sometimes that really screws me. But well, no white mana to start, but I think overall it's pretty decent. Couple of lands, couple of counter spells, so we'll go for it, see how it works out. Maybe could have dropped the Jawari Disruption there and had a turn 1 land come into play tapped, but we'll just see how we're sitting for turn 2 here. Probably dealing with goblins. Alright, well, I think since we got it to spend, we'll go ahead and counter it. Now our disruption's coming into play tapped anyway. Hopefully they were counting on that mana and that set them back pretty hard. It's got all the tellings of goblins. Yep, we got goblins. So I think just to curb their tempo a little bit, I'm going to get that back into their hand. Try and give us some... Oh, that's a nice top deck there. I can get Teferi going. Alright, let's see here. We already got some card draw, so I think we'll drop that. So there'll probably be hasty swinging at Teferi. That's okay. Might even be able to drop 2 creatures. Put out the Mind Stone, so they're only going to be getting the 1, the Goblin War Chief. So he'll do 2 damage to Teferi, but we can +1 him. Alright. Let's see. They probably have got some burn. I would like to be able to keep a land here, but that was interesting. See if we can get a land out of the 2, and we did. Alright, so we could Gust of Wind, hold that guy back, get Teferi going, get some card draw. I think we're going to do this though instead. Hold back the mana for the counter spell and see if we can't take away a valuable cast for him, and we can chump block if we need to here. And that was a very good time to hold that counter spell back. No Muxus for you. Oh, and he doesn't even attack. That was nice. Let's go ahead and pitch the Gust of Wind here. Start ticking Teferi up. Ooh, Shark Typhoon, that was a good one. Pitch that since we don't have any white mana yet. And let's see. I think we will go ahead and swing in here. Might have been a mistake, but we can spit out a 4/4 with Shark, so. Or just a 2/2 if we have to use the Lofty Denial. It's pretty crazy I haven't pulled any white mana yet. Alright, the Matron does have 4 left, so I think we gotta let that one slide. Depending on what he pulls, I might have to take away the War Chief. Doesn't have enough for the Muxus. Alright, well, let's see. That's going to give Matron haste. Do we want to let him go to combat? Yeah, sure. Alright, goblins are in full effect here. Probably could have denied that. Boy, they're tripling up on the Grandy, aren't they? What do we got here? Definitely want to wreck the Chieftain's face. Oh, and they didn't even go after Teferi with all of them. That's good. Come on, buddy. Commit to your attacks. Well, that's what I thought they would do. That's what they did. So, spit out a 4/4 here. Alright, so Teferi will be at 7. So I can block the War Chief. Yeah, I think I got to pitch him, unfortunately. Alright, let's start out with some more card draw and some more blockers. Some more card draw and some more blockers. No, I gotta hold back a counter spell for that Yahoo. Alright.
I do love a good puzzle.
Next, let's see. He's an enter. No attacks. Let's play some defense. Hopefully our card draw will take us over the edge here. And we gotta say no thank you to that. But now we gotta get some card draw.
Think fast.
I think I'd rather have the additional blocker. Dovin's Veto really doesn't help us right now when they're just dropping creatures. It's a non-creature spell. So I think we're going to pitch that. Drop another blocker here. That's going to be an interesting flash in right there. They're not going to expect that. Alright, well, let's send the 4/4. No, let's send the 2/2. One of the 2/2s your way. What do we give up to Fairy? Muxus is going to suck, especially when this guy's giving him haste. Yeah, let's send them all since we've got the Angel of Grace here. Hopefully he won't count on that much air force. He'll swing out at the Fairy, kill him. I'll come back with Angel of Grace. I think we actually are going to phase out the Chieftain. So we'll let that resolve. Alright. He's got haste. Oh, alright. Well, it's showing them. Oh, they got 2 Chieftains in play now. Well, that sucks. Alright, what are we going to do here? Krenko can spit out a bunch of fellas. That's going to suck. With that trigger on, I should have phased out Krenko. He can still do it anyway, though. I bet he swings out for the win, and Angels of Grace is going to get him. That's going to be funny. Alright, we got it. He's going to just send the Horde in. We'll flash an Angels of Grace. He's tapped out. We got this. Didn't expect that. Should be game. I don't even know why I didn't even bother scooping here. Alright, well our first matchup against Goblins ended up being a perfect. Send in the entire Air Force. Whew! Alright. Secret weapon, Angels of Grace. Can't tell you how many times that thing's won me a game back when it was in Standard. That was awesome. Okay, we're on our way. Probably will know next time not to use my counter spell on the Mind's Eye, or the Mind Stone there. That's a pretty good start. We're going first. We got a Lurrus here. Hopefully we'll top deck Watcher of the Spheres so we can drop that turn 2, get going on the card draw engine. Anytime you're ready, buddy. Probably have white enchantments here. Didn't get a turn 2 counterspell, so that's a bummer. I don't think that really bothers us much. But I'd really like to hold that back for when they start enchanting the shit out of something, but alright, I think we'll go ahead and drop him. That way we can make all this stuff cheaper. Gust of Wind at least will give me a nice bounce something back with the aura. Alright, yep. And that does allow him to get it from his graveyard. Oh, he didn't attack with Selfless Saver. Pulled a Wrath there. That's pretty intriguing. Let's hope I draw a card, a land here. Alright. See how this works out. Hoping for a land in these top 2 cards. There we go. So now we can Gust of Wind the Core Spirit Dancer. That'll go to the graveyard. Swing in for 3. And depending how hard they commit here, might be able to do a Wrath next turn. But with my bounce, I might be able to outrace him. Because I don't think any of their enchantments really make him untargetable. By the way, the extent of my knowledge on Historic is pretty much what I encountered last night when I was playing the Friday Night Magic event, so... yeah, there he goes. Seems like a pretty good time to Wrath. Let's see what he does with the Hushbringer. Yeah, that's what we needed right there. Alright, well... let's see here. We could get that back so he doesn't get his card draw right away. Alright, we'll see. Maybe should have Wrath there. Maybe you can get him to commit more. But with the Lurrus, it's a little bit iffy. Now we got the Brazen Borrower. That's a pretty good defense against their loading one single guy up. So I'm going to end it and see if I can still outrace him with the Brazen Borrower. Now that sucks right there because that does allow him to give something protection. I was curious. I'll just let that come through. Did forget one of those Yehills had lifelink. That sucks. Oh well. Alright. He's going to get a card draw there. I think I'm just going to set that up for a Wrath next turn. Oh, didn't even bring it out. Of course you can't from that graveyard. Okay. So we'll definitely send in the Air Force here. We'll drop the Winged Words first, draw some cards. And then see about taking away the board. Does he have a counterspell? Ah, making him indestructible. Alright. That's not going to help you. That's not what protection does, my friend. Probably see him put that into his hand and get that going. And it gives them indestructible, but doesn't stop the bounce. Maybe instead of drawing, I should have saved that back to bounce that shithead. But I will have enough mana to do that this turn. This next turn. And indestructible won't stop that. That was a pretty good top deck. Let's get some mana we can use. So we're probably going to have to Lofty the Lurrus, bounce that, so that'll take 4 of our mana. So we probably should have actually put the temple in tapped, but that's okay. Yeah, let's call it good here. Don't drop another land right here. Cast your Lurrus. Come on, cast your Lurrus. So if he drops another land, he'll have 4 mana to pay for the Lofty Denial. Maybe he didn't have a land. He usually would have pitched it right out. Alright, so that's when you cast. That's a cast trigger. So we'll resolve that. I am giving him a lot of card draw here, but that's the nature of dealing with this deck here. Yeah, I don't think we want that on the table anymore. Hopefully we'll draw into another counter spell here. Well, let's start out with Winged Words. The Fairy's nice. Gust of Wind. Let's see. If we do Teferi, what could he arm up here? A soldier? Yeah, I think we'll go ahead and just start phasing stuff out. Let's pitch that. Alright. So if nothing else, maybe we could draw into a counter spell with the Fairy. We got him at 10. Hopefully we can outrace him. Alright, let's see what we get here. See if we can get a counter spell. Lofty Denial. Nope. Alright. Probably shouldn't have done that because that means that when he arms up one of these shitheads, we can only do it once. One permanent. So maybe it's not going to be that bad. Think he'd go with the core to get the card draw? Okay. I mean, ultimately, Gust of winning that guy wouldn't have done that much. Glad they went after him. That gives me a couple extra turns, I think. Alright. That does stop my watch for the spears a little bit. gotta get rid of that jackhole. Let's see, we phase him out. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. If we phase out Hushbringer, drop him, that makes that a 3/3, gives us a blocker. And we give up to Fairy for it. Imagine if we Gust of Wind him, he'll use his Life's Bounty. Alright.
I do love a good puzzle.
Get rid of ring words. Yep. So. Better go into full control here just in case. Oh, he didn't do it. Alright, let's get my card draw going. So if I do this, it doesn't give me a blocker though. That's my only real option, I think. Alright. Do we send Lurrus back right now? I don't think so. Let's go ahead and intern here. Let's go into full control in case he tries to pop that. Alright, do I want to bounce him? If I bounce him, it's giving me a good game, like this is it. I'm not so confident. At least you won't have the life link. He does have Hushbringer. I'm just not used to what all the late game plays are for this type of deck. Okay. Have to try and draw in a solution to bounce that. He's just pumping them up for defense. Alright. I think we got it. That's fine. Let's just say no blocks. So we'll just cast a fairy, phase him out, swing in for the win.
It takes impressive knowledge to be a temporal archer.
Give him the good game. Woohoo! Pretty well with how the deck's running so far. Pretty happy with it, rather. Just finishing my dailies. Alright, let's keep going. Usually this deck has enough control and follow up with card draw that I can hang in there pretty good with a lot of the good decks. Ooh, that sucks. I gotta mull that. That's not really great either. At least we have lands though. I better keep that. Pitch it to Fairy. And we'll, let's see, throw that into play tapped. Maybe should have held it for, since we're out ahead their turn 2, but nothing doing there. Let that enter tapped as well. Hopefully we can top deck a flyer so these gust of winds are worthwhile. White, black, green, blue. Alright, we got a Euro deck. Euro, the big old Titan. Pay 2 life there. And Thoughtseize. Is he going to take the Fairy? Probably. Alright, well that's no bueno for us. Another Thoughtseize. Get rid of a gust of wind, that's fine. Alright, well. This is going to be interesting. Yeah, there's Euro. Alright. Didn't have a very good draw here, so might not be able to outpace him. And I continue to draw nothing. We can at least knock that one down a peg. Did just give him his, what does that need, 5 other cards? Oh my god! Stop giving me lands! He is definitely outracing me for the mana. It's going to bring him out from the graveyard. And I'll bounce him. He'll gain some life and draw some fucking cards. Oh. It's Nissa instead. That's non-land permanent. That's a bummer. Looks like we're going to take 3 here. Hell, for that reason, it gives it vigilance. He could do both. He could untap one of his lands, give it vigilance, swing in, and then recast Euro. I need a pretty amazing top deck here. Wrath of God would be great. Nothing I can do. We are definitely behind the 8 ball here. Oh, shit. It's doubling his forests. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, I think first things first, we double that, we return that bitch. And I'm pretty much screwed. Yeah. Let's just call it here. There's no way we're gonna catch up now with that start. That was just a bad start. It's gonna happen. I really did consider making this white, blue, black and running some graveyard hate for the Euro decks, but when I played them in the Friday Night Magic Historic, I didn't have any problem with them. I could usually counter Euro. I just didn't pull any counter spells there. Twitch Lord. It's a little bit better. I'd still like to have some of my Watcher of the Spears. Looks like we might have goblins here. So I think I'm not going to bother bouncing him. Turn 3, I'm going to do the Seer. Might try and let him overcommit here. Well, it's not really overcommitting. No, I'll trade 1 for 2. Oh. So I can bounce Herald's Horn with Brazen. That sucked. At least slow him down a little bit. Probably will just recast that, swing for 1. The Matron. Now would be a good time to top deck a... See, pop his treasure to cast that? No. Alright, we're not having mana woes. Don't know how to play this. It's definitely not worth wrathing yet. I think we go ahead and do a Spheres here. He might have a good next turn. I might be able to outrace him at this point. Probably should have played my tap land and scryed there if I wasn't going to be able to use all my mana. But I didn't know until I drew. Alright, so maybe both of those. I got the Herald's Horn. I'd be okay with that. Give me some time to swing in for 5. Or 6 if I drop 2 flyers. Yeah, well, that's definitely going to be a Wrath of God time. That's a pretty damn good top deck there. I don't think he hit any lands. All goblins. Is that what he does? All goblin creatures. Alright, I was thinking it was like a... Yeah, he's probably got me here with the Skirk Prospectors. Would have had 1 more mana. It'd been nice to counter that shit. Well, now I know the power of the Skirk Prospectors. Yeah, we knew this was going to be the big one. That probably is game. Yep. And that's why Goblins is one of the best decks in Historic. When I was doing my research last night, I just kept coming across Goblins, Goblins, Goblins. Would have been nice to have a counterspell there. 2 bad draws. Well, 2 losses. Started out great and got my ass kicked 2 games straight. Even if I don't make day 2, it'd sure be nice to get some gems back out of this. Ugh. Come on. Giganta, huh? That's interesting. I need to evaluate my white mana in here. Didn't have any problem with it last night. I played it like 15 times. Just rocking the new sleeves. Alright, pay 2 life, spit out the Watcher. Unfortunately, Kira doesn't help against sacrifice effects. Might have to bounce him. Just to make him recast it with Summoning Sickness. I have no idea what I'm dealing with here, deck-wise. I mean, clearly some graveyard recursion. Interesting. Alright. Hold the Brazen Borrower back for whatever spell they cast. Interesting. So now they're going to cast... Didn't cast a creature. I think we're going to bring in the Brazen Borrower then. They probably got removal, but we'll see. That's unfortunate. I didn't see a Collected Company coming. Let's see here. They're definitely going to get the sacrifice going. At least make him do it now. I was kind of hoping they would. Ooh, Angel of Grace, that could be a equalizer here. Maybe I'll outrace him in the sky. I should have seen that coming. So sack 2 of those after they swing. Alright. I'll just sack Brazen. Oh no, he's really got me now. He's going to do 1 damage to Brazen with the Mayhem Devil. Or take this guy out. I'll have to sack one of them. Yeah, that sucked. Wow, alright. That's a good game then. Well, guess I need to brush up on my historic decks. It's funny how came out of the gate strong and just got destroyed those last 2. Claim prize, which is nothing. No reward. Woohoo! Alright, well, no more gems. That's it for me. Hope you at least learned a little something. Maybe like me, you found out a little bit more about the strong historic decks out there. Maybe you enjoyed watching, and if nothing else, once the COVID stuff lifts and we're back at playing in the store, hope to throw some cards with you guys at Dungeons & Javas. Till then, hope you guys have a good day.